in Tech with Jay, and now we have another event which took place and was reported on January 20th, where WhatsApp was hit with a fine for violating data protection laws. So the Irish Data Protection Commission on Thursday they imposed a fine of £5.5 million against Meta for violating data protection laws, and this is under the GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation, which governs the privacy rights of European citizens. So even if you're operating your business in another country, if a European citizen uses your software or your application or your service, your cloud service, you will be required to be in compliance with the GDPR. So what happened with WhatsApp case is that they had a revised version of their terms of service, and they wanted to force consent by compelling the users to agree to the terms of service in order to keep getting access to the application, and that was in violation of the GDPR. Now in the United States there aren't many privacy laws that are really stringent, so it is very much relaxed than in European areas. So this non-profit group called NOYB, and that's a funny one because that's usually none of your business. So that's a really cute name to give for a privacy non-profit organization. They're the ones that are advocating for these fines. Now, of course, along with the Ireland Data Protection Commission. So there are some interesting notes in here, and you can check it out. I'll put the link below so you can go and check it out. But this is pretty interesting, and as you go, if you keep up to date with what's going on in the cybersecurity world, you'll see a lot more examples of what can happen when you are not being compliant with a regulation or any kind of industry standard, or if there's a data breach. So it goes on to tell you about some history with Meta and the fines that were there. At one point they were fined 110 million euros. There's another point where they were fined 390 million. So you can see that not being in compliance with these regulations is serious business, and this points to the fact that cybersecurity can be a very lucrative career, because you are very valuable if you can save the company from paying these kinds of fines. So if you look, for example, for paying someone $100,000 to save $110 million, I think that's more than a fair deal. So that's just one area of cybersecurity, and all of the other areas, I could tell you that they create high value skills, and yeah, it's very lucrative. But I digress. So let's stay with the topic. But the privacy protection is very important, because you want to make sure that your customers are assured that their data is safe. Although the United States doesn't have a lot of privacy laws, there are certain laws there that we go by, and there are certain best practices that you do in order to protect privacy. You can also make sure, for example, if you're an international, you provide a service internationally, you make sure that you're in compliance with whoever it affects. So if it affects customers from Europe, you have to follow the GDPR. And if you're using credit card processing, you also need to make sure that you are PCI DSS compliant. There are several others. California has some privacy act there, and that's another one that you'll generally see a lot of the companies using that standard as well. But interesting times, and I'm going to be following this up to see what steps Meta will take. And this is something that I also have been concerned with, because a lot of applications, they don't give you the option to say no and still get either a part of the service. You just have to accept all of the terms or you don't get the service, which I don't believe that that's a right thing to do. But let me know in the comments what you think. Just remember to like the video, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. And if you want to know what's going on, just look out for my next video. Looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you.